Hi, I'm Jessica, and welcome to this scoliosis workout using Pilates and physical therapy principles. I'm so happy to have you here. Just keep in mind you always want to check with your doctor before starting a new exercise routine, and of course stop if you have any pain at all. What you'll notice during my scoliosis workout is that we address both sides of the spine. I know each curve is different with scoliosis. I like to address both sides because I believe by strengthening and stretching into both sides, you're going to find your function and dynamic movement again. If you have been taught otherwise in the past, feel free to use whatever type of workout works best for you. Thank you so much, and I'll see you on your mat. Hi, and welcome to our scoliosis workout today. I am so happy to have you here. I want to tell you a couple things that you'll need for the workout, okay? So I have, first off, a stretchy band. If you don't have one of these, that's completely fine. Just grab a belt or a sheet, okay? They'll both work just fine. And then I also have this Pilates ball. It's just like a playground ball. If you don't have this, just grab a pillow and keep it close. And then finally, you might want a block. So this, what I'm using is a typical yoga block. Again, you don't need it. Just have, again, a couple pillows possibly, or a small stool, or even a chair close by. And you'll see as we go along what you'll need these for. But these are just some really nice props that can help during our workout. All right, so I'm gonna set these aside to start with. And then we're actually gonna start by working on our breathing. So breathing is an integral part of any injury, any dysfunction, and any movement issue. And it's especially important in scoliosis because of the curvature and because of the imbalance that happens in the ribs. Our ribs are very important and move during our breathing patterns. And so when that goes off a little bit, we can have issues further down and up the chain. So I want to work on our breathing. So I'd like you to just find a comfortable seat. If you'd like to sit on the block or on a small stool, that's completely fine. So find somewhere that you're comfortable, and I just want you to cross your hands across your belly so that your hands are resting on your ribs on either side. And I just want you to kind of settle into a breathing pattern that might be normal for you. And I'm going to start to talk you through what I would like you to focus on when you breathe. So when you take an inhale, I want you to feel your ribs press into your hands on both sides. So you're actually going to think about inhaling side to side. Okay, and then when you exhale, hollow out your belly and feel like you get a little bit taller. So what you don't want to happen is inhaling and having your chest lift or your shoulders and your neck tighten up. So we're trying to avoid that on the inhale. And we want to avoid kind of a slumping feeling as well on the exhale. All right, so when you inhale, feel those ribs move side to side. And then exhale, hollow out your belly and feel like you grow a little bit taller. So you're trying to create space in between your vertebrae as you breathe. All right, so another way we're going to find this is I want you to turn and you're going to fold gently over your legs. This should be a fairly comfortable position. Again, you can do this seated in a chair is fine. Now I want you to inhale, and when you inhale, feel like you're going to inhale more into your kind of mid and upper back where your ribs are. Okay, so that's where you're going to breathe into. And then exhale again, hollow out your belly. And now let's find some equal inhales and exhales. So I'm going to count to 4 and you're going to inhale for me. So inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, and now exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're just going to do a few more at your own pace, long inhales and exhales. So the biggest lobes of your lungs are actually towards the back, which is why this can be a nice position to find those deep breaths. And let's just do one more. Nice job. So that's a really nice strategy to use If you're sitting at your desk and you start to feel tight, if you're sitting in the car and start to feel tight, if you're having a hard time sleeping at night, just starting to find those long inhales and exhales can really help relax your body and find proper movement pattern again. All right, now I'm gonna have you lay down on your backs and make sure some of your toys here that we have are close. So other than breathing, the other piece we really need to cover before we get into our workout is how to contract your lower abdominal muscles. So you're gonna lay down on your back for me. With your knees bent, should again be a comfortable spot, and I want you to take your hands. Your fingers should go, find your hip points in the front here. Okay, that's your ASIS. I want you to go in 1 inch and then down 1 inch. So your hands, your fingers are just resting in that spot. Take an inhale for me. Now exhale, I want you to pretend like there's a line from your belly button to your tailbone, and you're gonna connect that invisible line. So it's like you're pulling your belly button gently in towards your tailbone, and you're pulling your tailbone up and gently in towards your belly button. Okay, and then you can kind of relax. I know it might not make sense yet, it'll come eventually. When you exhale, feel that belly button pulling gently in. It's almost like you're trying to pull your belly button away from your shirt. Okay, but at the same time, you feel that lifting up from the pelvic floor. That's the tailbone piece. And what I'm trying to do is get you to contract your transversus abdominis. So your lower abdominals, that's your transversus abdominis, and it runs around like a belt, and it works to stabilize the low back. It should be on all the time at a low level. It works to stabilize us before we even take a movement. And most of the time in low back pain, that stops working correctly. So we want to retrain it so that it's stabilizing you and then allowing you to do all the other movements and strengthening exercises that we want to do. So like I said, if it doesn't make sense at first, that's completely fine. But what I want to do is get you out of the habit of trying to brace or really tighten your abs. You also don't want to squeeze your buns when you do this. So what it shouldn't look like is this. I don't know if you saw that, but my tail lifted up. I really tightened everything. That's not contracting the lower abs. When you do it correctly, you'll just feel this slight pulling under your fingertips, and you probably won't see much movement whatsoever. All right, so that's what we'll keep coming back to, but that's a great thing to practice throughout the day as well. So now, let's do that again. Actually, first for me, find your pillow or ball, okay? So take that ball or pillow and we're gonna place it in between your knees. And we're gonna add another fun component here, okay? So arms can come down to your sides. Take your inhale for me. Exhale, pull that belly button in and squeeze the ball at the same time. And we're gonna hold that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Good, same thing. Exhale, belly button to tailbone, pulls in so you have that nice contraction in the lower abs and you're squeezing the ball. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. So you can continue here at your own pace. What we're doing is, again, contracting the low abs first and then squeezing the ball with both legs. So we're activating your inner thighs. Your inner thighs have a very important connection to your lower abdominal muscles and to, again, all the way up to your outer thighs and up into your back. So we're going to be doing quite a bit to help contract those inner thighs and all the muscles really around the hips. So what you can expect from this workout is a lot of stabilizing and strengthening for the supporting muscles. So that would be hips, inner thigh, outer thigh, glutes, some back strengthening, obviously some abdominals, and then also some movement to try to get those vertebrae all moving a little bit more fluidly for you today. Okay, so let's keep that pillow or ball. And if you have a pillow, you might find you want to fold it in half and then put it in between your knees. The next thing we're going to work on is a bridge. So again, take your inhale. I'm going to work on breathing a lot. Exhale and just tuck your tailbone first. This is called a pelvic tilt. So all you've done is tucked your tailbone, flattened your low back. Now take it the opposite way. Tailbone flattens and my low back gets a little arch. So now tuck, so you're gonna roll. It's like your pelvis is a rocking horse. So you're rocking your tailbone towards you, and then rocking the opposite and taking your tailbone away from you. So if you have done some of my YouTube scoliosis workouts, you'll see some familiar concepts and some familiar exercises as we go along, but we're just going to get much more in depth and you'll get a much more focused workout here today. So these pelvic tilts are going to start to teach you how to move your pelvis correctly, which we can lose sometimes, again, when there's an imbalance in the spine. And that's what scoliosis is. At its very basic level, it's an imbalance. And we're trying to take those imbalances and even them out. Even if we can't 100% correct your curve, we can work on some of those imbalances and hopefully make you feel better and stronger. All right, so now that you've started to loosen up, we're going to take that pelvic tilt up to a bridge. So you're going to curl your tailbone for me again and continue the roll. So I've curled my tailbone, I did my pelvic tilt, and now I'm going to keep rolling up one vertebrae at a time into my bridge right here. Inhale at the top. Exhale, I'm going to roll down. So you really want to feel like you're sinking at your sternum first, then your ribs, then towards your belly button, all the way down. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, you curl to roll up. And at this point, you're just squeezing the ball or pillow enough to hold it there. Okay, inhale at the top. Exhale again, curl, roll down. So you can go at your own pace and speed here as well. Slower is always better when we're trying to retrain movement. You are probably going to feel like you have little spots that get stuck. So just take your time through them. Focus on that breath. So on this one, you're going to roll all the way up. Pause. When you inhale, bring your arms back behind you till they hit the ground. Then exhale and roll back down. Inhale, arms back to your sides. Exhale, roll back up. Inhale, arms sweep back. Exhale, roll down, getting even more length. Inhale, arms down. Exhale up. Now, just bring your right arm back. Okay, roll down. Right arm back down to your side. Roll back up. Yes, we're going to do quite a few reps of exercises today. But that's how, now the left arm comes back behind you. Then roll down. That's how we retrain movement. I can't have you do 3 repetitions and be done. We have to do many. Okay, left arm down. Let's roll up one more time. Stay here. Bring your arms back. And then just bring them back down to your sides, okay? You're keeping the bridge now, starting to work into the glutes a little bit. Inhale. Exhale, hollow out the belly. Inhale, arms back. Exhale, arms down. One more. Inhale, arms back. Exhale, curl. Roll down again. Nice job. Arms down to your sides. We have one more variation to do. When you exhale, curl, roll yourself back up. Stay in your bridge, and I want you to squeeze the ball only with the right knee. So the right knee is going to squeeze in, out, 3, 2, 1. Left side, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Both sides, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep the squeeze and then roll back down. Nice and gentle. Oh, nice job. And you probably feel your legs. I do at this point. So let's take that ball or pillow out and just set it to the side. All right, so we're gonna stay on our backs right now, and I want you to bring your hands behind your head. The thumbs are gonna go at the base of your skull. Your elbows are wide, so your hands aren't on your neck. They're just gently resting. Keep that tailbone down, don't let it lift, and you're gonna exhale, tuck your chin, roll yourself up into a slight crunch, and inhale to come back down. Exhale up. So of course, if you get pain here, please just skip this exercise. We're supporting the head and neck without pulling on it. So you tuck the chin first, and then you're using your abdominal muscles to try to get the shoulder blades up off the mat. So you'll see how high I'm coming. I'm not coming to a sit-up. This isn't a full sit-up, but you have to actually get the shoulder blades up in order to get into the abdominals. All right, so let's come up. Stay here. I want you to twist to your left. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist right. Inhale, center. So again, keeping both hips and your tailbone down. So you'll see my lower body isn't moving. One more each side. Elbows are still wide. Center and roll back down. Very nice. Okay, it is time for you to find your strap or your sheet or your belt, whatever you have close. And what we're gonna do is bring it behind the right foot. So I usually go kind of just below the ball of my foot or to my arch. And then straighten the left leg out and bend that right knee. Think of that neutral spine again, not letting your low back flatten or arch. Then when you're ready, you exhale to straighten the right leg and inhale to bend it. You can have one or both hands on your strap. Exhale and just see how straight you can get that leg without letting the hip hike up. So we're not going to compromise the back position. And then on this one, bring it up and we're gonna hold it there. So just see with each exhale, if maybe you can bring the leg a little bit closer towards you. But the key is having the knee straight. I don't want you here thinking that that's better to get closer, because that's not gonna stretch your hamstring. I'd rather you actually be way down here and straight if you feel it in the back of the leg as a stretch. So you're trying to find that point that's as far up as you can go, but the knee is straight and the hip is down. And that's gonna stretch your hamstring. Okay, now take the leg and we can sweep it over to the right. Just as far as you're comfortable going. The wall limits me a little bit. So just an inner thigh stretch. Okay, control it coming back up. Take it over to the other side. So I'm keeping my hip down so that it's more of an iliotibial band stretch. It's really common to get tight hips when there's, again, that imbalance in the spine, so we want to address that. Back to center, and let's just switch legs. So we're going to start with the leg bent. Once you have that strap where it's most comfortable for you, exhale, straighten, and inhale to bend. Again, making sure that that hip is down the whole time. Shoulders are relaxed. Okay, let's reach it up, stay there, and bring the leg over to the left. I usually like to go until my elbow is down because that helps to support my leg, but do whatever is comfortable for you. And then with control, bring it back up. We're gonna cross it, again, just slightly. We're not going into a full twist here yet. We're gonna get there. Back to center. I like to do one more in the center. And then release that. Good job. All right, so you can set that band to the side. We're gonna take the right ankle and cross it over the left knee. A little more hip stretching here before we move on to the next portion of our workout. So if this is enough stretch, you can stay here. If not, bring the legs in towards you, hold behind the left thigh or even on top of the left shin. But then again, make sure tailbone is down. So you're just allowing your back to relax here. I like to get some stretching in before we go into the strengthening portion. Okay, now you're gonna cross all the way. So take the leg so it's all the way over, your thigh on thigh. Arms out to a T, here's our twist. Your knees fall over to the left, you're gonna look to the right. Find that inhale into your ribs again. And then with control, come back to center. And let's switch. So ankle to knee first. Find your figure 4 stretch. And then when you're ready, cross it all the way over, thigh on thigh, arms to a T, your knees fall to the right, and you're gonna look to the left. And then back up to center. All right, nice job. You're just gonna roll to your left side, and then we're actually gonna stay here to go into some leg work. You have 2 options. The little bit more advanced option is up on a high elbow. So this is where you can work to eventually. If that's too much to start with, you're gonna do this exact series flat down on your side, okay? I'll do a little bit of both to show you. But what we're gonna do is straighten the bottom leg and you bring it to the front corner of your mat. And then the top leg straightens out. So you need everything stacked. I want shoulder stacked and hip stacked. And then feel like I'm standing at your right ankle, pulling on it. Now flex the foot. Inhale to sweep the leg forward. Exhale, point, and bring it back. So we're still working into hips a little bit. Inhale, forward, flex. Exhale, point, and back. You're only moving the leg as much as you can, that your back doesn't move. So you'll see if you go too far, this happens, right? I don't know if you can tell, my whole body kind of sunk back, and then this happens, you arch. So people kind of let everything move around, and the point is that you are a statue from your hips up. So if I was up on a high elbow, it would look like this. So getting into some hip stabilization, which also really works to help stabilize your back as well. It all works together. Okay, now keep the toes pointed. Inhale forward, exhale up and around for a circle. All right, so you inhale forward and then exhale. And each time you come down, you're only coming down to hip height. It's like there's an invisible table right there that you can't go lower. And you just slide to come forward. And now reverse. Inhale up and around, exhale back. Good job. 3 more. 2, and keep thinking belly button to spine or belly button to tailbone as well. Last one. Nice job. All right, let's press up and we'll find the other side. Whichever variation you did. So again, I'll do a little bit of both here. But if you did lying flat on that side, just stay the same on this side. Bottom leg is straight and forward. Top leg comes up, reach it away so you lengthen your side waist. Everything is stacked, belly button's in. Inhale, forward, flex. Exhale, point back. Good. So feeling really long in that leg the whole time. If you're up in a high elbow, you need to focus on keeping those ribs lifted. So you're not sinking into the shoulder. You have to, that's what makes it so hard. You're pressing away from the elbow, so create space here, and then lift the ribs. Okay, keep the toes pointed. Let's find our circles. Inhale forward, exhale up and around. Good. Making the circles as small as you need, that nothing else moves. Resting whenever you need to. Okay, reverse directions, up, forward, and back. Good. Keep creating that space between ear and shoulder. 2 more. Last one. Nice job. And then rest that leg down. And then you're going to press yourself up into a seated position. We are going to do a mermaid stretch. It's one of my favorite stretches actually for any imbalance in the spine, especially scoliosis. And this is where your block or stool or even a chair might come in. So let me show you where we're going with this. This is called a Z-sit. You're going to have your left foot back behind you and your right foot in. So if you have hip injury or knee injury, or with your scoliosis, if it prevents you from getting your sit bones down, so if you find this happening, then I want you up on a block, or again, a small stool, or whatever you need that allows your spine to be a little more upright, okay? So you're gonna find what you need that works for you. That's optional. And then once you're there, we're gonna bring arms out to the side. Shoulders draped down your back. Inhale. Exhale, you're gonna come up and over to your right. So your hand or maybe even your elbow come down, and you're keeping your left sit bone down. So it doesn't look like this. It's not a big diagonal stretch. I'm literally trying to make a C curve out of my spine. And then you use your side muscles, your obliques, to help you come back up. And then take it to the other side, which will feel a little tighter simply because of the position of the legs. All right, so we sweep back up. Exhale over, opening the ribs. Inhale, use those muscles to come up. Exhale over. Good. On this one, we're going to come over, stay there, and then slowly rotate down towards the floor, maybe getting both hands on the floor and slightly folding over the left leg. And then rotate back to center and come back up. Nice job. Let's switch the legs. Right foot back, left foot in. And one side is going to be different if you do have a true scoliosis, because again, you have that C curve or maybe an S curve. So if you need to use the block on just one side, that's okay as well. Just assess what you need. So arms out to the side, inhale. Exhale, left hand now down, right arm up. Okay, sweep back up. You're trying to restack one vertebrae at a time, like building blocks. So when you come back up, think your hip goes down first, then the next one, like you're restacking up against a wall. And then up and over. And hopefully loosening up a little bit as you go along. We're going to do one more each side. And then while you're here, if you can, rotate down towards the floor. Both hands down. Try to square yourself a little more. And then just gently bow over that leg. Shoulders down. Good. Hand back to center. Rotate. Come all the way up. Nice job. All right, so we're going to stay seated here, and I want you to find, again, the position that's most comfortable for you. I'm going to go cross-legged. If you want to be up on that block, you can. We're going to have arms just down at your sides. So So let's first bring the right arm up. Similar stretch to what we just did. A nice side bend, opening up your ribs. Come back up, right arm down, left arm. Okay, let's do one more of those each side. Good. When you come back up, we're going to bring both arms up overhead. When they come down, I want you to rotate to your right. So one hand comes behind you, the other one comes to your knee, and you're just gently twisting. Come back up to center. Exhale, the other way. Inhale to come up, and exhale, rotate. Find that breath again. You're getting longer and taller. You're not slumping into that rotation. You're trying to grow taller into it. And back up. All right, nice job. Arms come down. So that was prepping and preparing you for a little more challenging spinal work that we're going to do. So we're going to be sitting here nice and tall up on your sit bones. If this isn't happening for you, you can either sit on that small block again or bend your knees to allow you to get upright, because this isn't going to work on this exercise series. You need to be able to be as tall as you can on the sit bones. My legs are about mat distance apart. Pull the toes towards you. So it's really active work for these back muscles. They're probably going to get fatigued. Mine are already a little bit tired here. Arms in front. Inhale again. Exhale, we're going to do almost like a forward fold. This is called spine stretch. You're rounding forward, and then you simply restack to sit back up. Exhale, like someone's pulling on your wrists forward, but then trying to get your ribs back. Okay, one more. And restack. Hands behind your head. We are going to rotate again. Inhale, twist to your left. Exhale, center. Inhale, twist to your right. Exhale, center. I want you to think about this back elbow. That's trying to sweep back to give you more rotation. But then you're also getting taller at the same time. One more. Nice job. And arms can come down. That is hard work. All right, you're going to come down all the way onto your belly. So find a comfortable place here, and we're going to start with your hands underneath your shoulders, and your legs are going to come about hip distance apart. So shoulders drop down your backs, and then shoulder blades come together. When you're ready, on an inhale, you press just gently into your hands to come up into a slight extension, and then exhale back down. Inhale, almost feel like you're pulling the hands like towards you or down towards your hips, but they're not actually moving. That feeling helps you actually get into more of a lift. So working those upper back muscles. Now, two options here. You're either just going to lift your hands up and let them float, or if you can, bring the hands behind you and clasp them together. Either one is fine, but now inhale and lift. So either way, it's a little more active because your hands aren't resting down. Inhale. Open, open, open. And we're going to do one more. Nice job. Bring your cheek to one side, just let yourself rest. We're going to bring hands underneath your forehead, and and find our glutes a little bit more. So we'll do the left leg first. What I want you to do is reach the leg out away from you. It's just slightly sliding on the ground. It's more of an idea of feeling like I'm pulling on your ankle again, so it gets really long. Tighten your quad muscle, and then exhale, lift the leg, and inhale, lower. So same idea here, the belly button stays lifted and pulled in. It's like there's a hot coal underneath your belly button and you're trying not to let it touch. So you're lifting it up. Two more. Leave it up there, give me little pulses. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice job. Let's do the other leg. So reach the right leg long again first, then keeping it straight, lift it up and down. Here's 4, we're going to 8. Both side waists are long, neck is relaxed. Last 2. Last one, keep it up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice job. And separate your legs to mat distance apart. Actually, bring them back to hip distance. I was gonna miss the most important one here. I don't wanna forget. Mat distance apart. Bring your hands in front of you. We're gonna do swimming. So when you're ready, inhale, lift your head, lift your arms, lift your legs, and you're gonna alternate arm and leg flutters like you're swimming. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Last set. Pause and rest. Nice job. Now you can bring your legs mat distance apart. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, your head to center. Slowly press all the way up into full extension. Your hips come with you. Shoulders are down. Look over your right shoulder. Look over your left shoulder. Center. And then keep the belly in and keep your knees wide and press back for a child's pose. You can just sink down into it. And let's walk the hands over to the left so that you end up crossing the right wrist over the left. And then let's take the hands the opposite way. And then back to center. And then you're going to come up so that you're on all fours. You want to find your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. Spread your fingertips wide, and on an exhale, round your spine, tuck your tail. Here's your cat stretch. Inhale, dive through your shoulder blades to lift your head and lift your tail for your extension. Exhale to round. Inhale to arch. We'll do a few more. Just go at your own pace. But really try to feel those back bones moving instead of just forcing yourself into the position. See if you can make it feel a little different. Okay, find a halfway point in between those two. Now, I want you to look over your left shoulder and take your left hip to the left. So I'm like a cat trying to look over my left shoulder at my tail. Then center. And then over to the right. Good, and center again. Left, center, and right. Center. Nice job. Let's stay in the center. One more cat stretch. One more camel or extension. And now find that halfway point again. This should be your neutral spine. If I rested a nice long stick on your back, it would touch the back of your head, between your shoulder blades and your tailbone. So now we're going to keep that stick balanced and bring your right arm out in front of you. Bring it back down. Left arm. And back down. Now keep that stick balanced, right leg. And back down. Left leg. Back down. Okay, at any point, if you need to find your neutral again, go ahead and do that cat, right, camel, and then find halfway in between. That's a nice, quick way to reset. So, maintaining that spine position, right arm comes up in front of you again. Stay here, and if you can, you're going to bring the left leg back behind you. Reaching fingertips away from toe tips. Good, bring them back down. Left arm. Right leg. Good, reach, reach, reach. Back down again, you got it. One more each side. Right arm. Left leg. Now either stay here or if you can, lower both, tap the ground, lift. Trying not to let your back sink. 3, 2, 1. Nice job. Bring them back down. Other side. Then your arms will get a break. Left arm forward, right leg back. So again, either hold it or lower down and tap, lift. 4, 3, 2, 1. Back down. Good job. And then just take it back for a child's pose. If you need to give your wrists a couple circles, you definitely can. Because we're going to come back and use your wrists again. We're going to work a little bit into plank. So let's come back up. Find your hands again with fingertips spread underneath your shoulders. So we'll all start on our knees. You're going to step your knees back and bring your knees together. Then you shift your weight forward. Don't cross the ankles, okay? Just leave them together. Shift the weight forward so that you have a straight line from the back of your head to your shoulders to your tail. And this is a plank. Your abdominal muscles are working. Shoulders are obviously working. So that's one option for plank. Go ahead and rest back. All right, option number 2 for plank. So if that was enough for you, just stay there. Otherwise, take the right foot back, curl the toes underneath you, lift the belly, take the left foot back. Find your long plank here. If you have wrist issues and you need to do this on your elbows, then you'll come right here and hold your plank on your elbows. Okay, those are your 2 options. Either one is just fine. 3, 2, 1, good. Take your weight up and back and find what we call inverted V, also known as down dog. Shoulders drop down, tail lifts up. Maybe walk out your feet a little bit. And this as well can be done on your elbows. Both heels down. Nice job. Come forward into a plank one more time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Knees down. And press back for your child's pose. And walk your hands back and restack your spine. Nice job. Let's sit in a straddle position. So you're gonna bring your legs out. You decide how wide. I wouldn't go as far in a V as you possibly can go. I would probably go about halfway. You're gonna bring the left hand inside that leg, right arm up. Exhale to reach up and over. So I like to use my elbow once I get it down in there as a fulcrum, and I kind of spin my ribs open. But do whatever's comfortable for you, just trying to get that side stretch. Good. Re-stack. Right arm. In, left arm. Over. Spin your ribs towards the ceiling. Good. And re-stack. Arms come in front of you and just walk yourself forward. Try to keep your toes facing the ceiling as you do it. Good. And then re-stack. Nice job. We're going to turn to face the front of your mat. And your legs are going to be straight out in front of you. Arms out in front. Inhale, tall. Exhale. I want you to curl your tailbone and you're going to roll back. Just about halfway, maybe not even that far, just whatever you can do to keep that round feeling in your spine. Then you exhale, come up, you stay rounded, over, re-stack. You're in the home stretch, we're almost there. Curl, roll back halfway. Inhale, pause. Exhale, up, over, re-stack. All right, on this one, curl, roll down halfway. Stay here. Inhale, bring your left arm to the left, turn and look. Exhale, center. Inhale, right. Exhale, center. Left. Center. Right. Center, one more each side. Left. Center. Right. Center. Roll up. Over. Give yourself a stretch here. Re-stack. And now curl your tailbone and you're going to roll all the way down onto your back. So just as slow as you can, seeing if each backbone will hit. And then arms reach behind you. Good job. So find yourself in a comfortable place on your mat again. And we are going to come back to some pelvic tilts and bridging to see if you maybe feel a little bit looser than you did. So when you're ready, exhale, curl the tailbone towards you. Inhale, small arch in your low back as your tailbone tips away from you. Exhale, curl. And inhale to arch. And then on this one, exhale, curl, roll all the way up into your bridge. And I'm going to add something just slightly different. While you're there, drop your right hip 1 inch. So your hips are tilted now. Roll down like that. Curl, curl, roll down. So it's more the right side of your back that hits. Now stay like that to roll back up. When you get to the top, level your hips, then drop the left 1 inch. Now roll down here. Good, inhale. Exhale, roll back up. One more each side. So right hip drops, roll down. Your shoulders should still be level. Roll back up. Left hip drops, roll, come back up, level out your hips, and roll back down. Nice job. Hug both knees into your chest. Rock it side to side. And then just bring your legs together and do little circles with your knees in one direction. Just giving yourself kind of a little massage in your back and sacrum. Then the other direction. Nice job. And one more big squeeze, hugging your knees in. Big inhale. And exhale. Nice job. And you can roll to your left side. And press yourself up. Good. Bring both legs out in front of you. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, reach. Inhale. And exhale to restack. And congratulations. Thanks for joining me for this workout. I'll see you next time.